So today we are going to discuss about handling and storage of radioactive materials. So great care has to be taken in handling and storage of radioactive material for protecting people and personals who handling harmful radiation in which the radioactive materials emit. So certain precautions have to be taken while working with detectors, tracer experiments, radio assay, manufacturing or handling of radioactive materials, etc. So in order to have protection from hazards of radiation, radioactive material must be stored in a remote area, that is people's not frequently visited, and shielding may be required. So radioisotope must be stored in a remote area in lockable metal cabinet or refrigerators. Radiopharmaceuticals should be stored in an area assigned for the purpose. And this controlled location should be protected against unauthorized access. Proper storage of radioisotopes in the laboratory include providing sufficient shielding to reduce emitted radiation to the lowest possible and preventing the release or spillage of radioactive materials. The storage condition should be such that the maximum radiation dose rate to which persons may be exposed is reduced to an acceptable level. Care should be taken to comply with national regulation for protection against ionizing radiation. So when once opened, all vial containing unbound sources should not be stored in refrigerators, etc., but in fume hoods, and every effort made to keep these vessels tightly sealed. And shielding may be required. Storage location for radioactive material such as refrigerators should be labeled with the caution radioactive material signs. Radiopharmaceutical preparation that are intended for parenteral use should be kept in a glass vial, ampule or syringe that is sufficiently transparent to permit the visual inspection of the content. Glass containers may darken under the effect of radiation. Thick glass or perpex glass, for example, glass made of polymethyl methacrylate or acrylic glass containers usually provide sufficient shielding for alpha and beta. For gamma radiation, lead shielding has to be used. The storage area must be regularly checked for radioactivity. The working area should not get contaminated with radioactive materials, and ALARA, that means as low as reasonably achievable rule, should be applied. The radiation exposure to the personnel can be reduced to ALARA level by mainly three factors: distance, shielding and time. So coming to the distance, exposure can be reduced by increasing the distance between the source and the personnel. By using this way, we can reduce the level of radiation. Then second one is shielding. So it is used to prevent or reduce the passage of radiation. Beta emitters are shielded with plastic materials or wooden block, while gamma radiation is shielded with lead. Then third one is time. Minimum possible time working with radioactive material should be applied. It could be achieved by the proper planning of the work. Pipette operated by mouth should never be employed before making use of glass apparatus. It must be ensured that they have been inactive. So example for shielding. So alpha can be stopped by a thin paper sheet, but beta can have more penetrating power than alpha. So it should be stopped by a sheet of plastic, and gamma is having more penetrating power compared to alpha and beta, that should be shielded by concrete, steel or lead. So this is example for beta radiation shielding. So usually plastic is used for the shielding of beta, glass or plastic. Then certain precautions are taken while handling of radioactive liquid materials. Great care need to be taken in handling of radioactive material for protecting people and personnel who handle it from the harmful radiation they emit. So certain precautions have to be taken while working with detectors, tracer, equipment, radioassay manufacturing or handling of radioactive materials. So in order to have protection from hazards of radiation, radioactive material must be stored in an area not frequently visited by people. Shielding may be required. Thick glass or Perpex glass containers provide sufficient shielding. The storage area must be regularly checked for radioactivity. Then in case of radioactive liquids, working area should not get contaminated with radioactive materials. If radioactive liquid is to be handled, it must be carried in trays with absorbent tissue paper so that any spillage will get absorbed by the paper. Rubber gloves have to be used when working with radioactive liquids. Pipette operated by mouth should never be employed. Waste of radioactive material has to be stored till its activity become low and then only it should be disposed. Precautions while handling and storage of radioactive substances means one should not touch the radioactive emitter with hand, but it should handle by means of forceps. Then smoking, eating, drinking activity should not be handled in laboratory where radioactive material is handled. Sufficient protective clothing and shielding have to be used while handling of materials. Radioactive material have to be stored in suitable labeled container and preferably in a remote corner. Areas where radioactive material are stored should be monitored and tested for radioactivity regularly. And disposal of radioactive material should be carried out with great care. Strict requirements are prescribed by the Department of Atomic Energy for the establishment of a radioactive facility in the hospital or pharmacy. So these include specification for premises, storage space, working area, disposal protocol, training of personnel, periodic check on contamination or leakage. So these are example for radioactive precautions while handling radioactive materials. Should wear proper gloves, shoes, etc., coat, etc. So personal protective equipments include eye protection, latex gloves, lab coat, complete coverage feet and legs, no short, no half sports, no open-toed shoes, no mini skirt, etc. PPE is worn on the body. Primary purpose is to provide a barrier to radioactive material or radiation. So thank you.